What's up, gamers? Today I'm going to be showing you how to effectively spot on Sand River. Now, this is an encounter game, but it also works for the normal battle as well. So we're going to do it in the AMX 3105. This is how I have it set up. I have CVS in the spot, which is what you should always have. Now, I've got bounty on there, but they're not upgraded, so they are, a 6% and plus 10. There will be some timestamps down below if you want to skip some of the stats and like this part of the intro part. I'll put the timestamps down below and you can just skip forward to the gameplay if that's what you are interested in. If you found the videos helpful or anything like that, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. We're on our way to hopefully 1,000 subscribers. We're at 160-ish currently at the time of this video. Go down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Anything else, another map that you want to see. If you've got nothing else to say, just leave an emoji in the comments because engagement. So the stats of this vehicle. This is probably the most damage dealing light tank you're going to get, but we're not really going to do much damage in this one. We are mostly going to be assistance, but it has 234 standard pen. As you can see in the shells, you can get 280 heat pen if you need it. I don't have intuition. I do have brothers in arms for those extra qualifications. You 100% always have to have camo. I've got situational awareness and recon. Designated target, just because 2.5 seconds, that you can get. Imagine another one being open in the open for another 2.5 seconds. That's going to be decent. Snapshot, just because dispersion for the gun, that's going to help all the time. Smooth ride, just because of the accuracy. And clutch braking is clutch braking. You'll kind of know what that does. Now going down to here, I managed to have got this up to 44% camo rating, which is extremely high. You're not going to get spotted very often. There is calculators out there that you can do, but they will change depending on what people have. This is the only tank that I run food on, and that's because I played it in Onslaught and things like that, so I do have food on. Got to 482 meters view range, and these are just the extra bonuses. Now, the extra stats on top of that is you can get 8 degrees of gun depression, but the biggest letdown is only 12 degrees of gun elevation, so if you find yourself on a bit of a hill, you can't always get it up. Doesn't have that much ammo either, it's 33. You do get a 3-shot autoloader though, that has 390 average damage with an intricate reload 2.7 seconds. You deal a lot of damage pretty quickly, but then you do have that reload timer as well. So it's an up and down, but most of the time you'd have 2 builds. You'd have this one set up for firepower, which I don't. I don't have anything, just spotting, and I still find myself still managing to do 4 or 5K's worth of damage. So let's jump into game and see how we can spot on Sand River. Okay, so this is the game in Sand River. I want to go off into the sort of G6, G7 area, so right in front of us. We're going to drive along here like this, and then we're going to get into these bushes, and we're going to get the early spots off, and we can see exactly who and where is going where, so our team kind of get the early advantage of knowing what they're going to be coming up against. Obviously, you're not going to spot every single body, but this also goes for the normal battle, and for either side as well. For instance, go from here, you could go along and go up into these bushes. On this side, you'll come from here and go up and go into these bushes. Now, I take the really early aggressive approach in this rock, just because I don't think that as an encounter battle, we're going to get spotted. Now, we're giving them the early damage. You can see all of our TDs are lined up, ready to blast into the side. We've spotted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks already. We're taking out a Yag Tiger. People are still getting the spots in. There's more. And another one. So we've got 1,700 spotting in the first, let's call it a minute. So once that's all done, you can then, I would advise turning around and reversing, as opposed to reversing. You can just drive up into these bushes, and now I'm just trying to feel out for where they would be. You can sit in here and use this bush on the edge of the rock to spot that hill. As you can see, that's where they are. We do take a shot. Unsure why I went back up there for the peak. I think I forgot that my turret was jammed, which does seem to happen a lot in this tank. So I'm just waiting in those bushes and sitting there and waiting. The leopard gets hit. If they're up on that hill, they're going to get hit all the time by your TDs, as long as they're looking this direction. Now, I'm not too worried because most of the tanks have disappeared up into the north, like the dangerous ones, the Minotauro, the Roshinante, things like that. Now you can fire through this bush, and it'll act as a bush in front of you over 15 meters. Now I do fire here, still not spotted. I'll see if I can go back and fire another one into him, as they do know I'm here, so I'm not trying to hide. And we've managed to do 3,700, 3,890, yes, 3,900, and the E75 does take out the AMX 50B. Now we have an issue. The WZ is below us and is pushing. Now, I'm not worried about getting spotted. I said a 44% camo in this tank. And the Jag Tiger just managed to stay out of range. I was looking at the proxy spot range there, and just as he leaves, you get, let me pause it right there, on that first shot you do, that they have view range point on the tank. One is here at the back, and you have one in the gun mantlet. If that's gone past that and all you can see is a little bit, you then won't get spotted. We do stick 2 into him, maybe 3. It might have been 3 actually. You can just see the quick amount of damage that you can stick out as this tank. Now that light tank has been sitting in the middle the entirety of this game. I'm guessing he just peeks up, tries to make a spot, which is another thing you can do, but it's not as effective. As you can see, we're up to nearly 2,000 damage and 4,300 assistance damage. Now, at this point in the game, we see that there's a CS59 unspotted, WT that is still unspotted. Okay, we've found where the Leopard 1 is. Now, this is something where we don't really want to peek, because that WT and the CS is something we're unsure where they are. And we will probably get spotted by that AMX, as well as obviously the Leopard that's directly in front of us. So patience here is just patience. So if someone's that close to you, you know, we're only at 500 HP left. So it's all about playing in these bushes as a light tank, especially on a map as open as Sand River. I'm gonna use this bush for some camo. Don't think it quite works. Yep, and we do get spotted. So we hit the reload and we dip off the edge of the bush. Now, unfortunately, we take a bit of a lucky shot here. Could not work out what was going on there, and we nearly ruined the entirety of our game. Now you can see me checking out. I think the rock just sticks out a little bit and I just couldn't drive over it. But with the food and the bounty equipment, we are up to 483 meters view range. Now we don't have any HP left, but we cannot take a shot. We've got to be extremely careful here. Kind of waiting for our team and the gorilla to maybe hit them at least once or twice. Obviously there's a T10 T110 E4, and that is the Roshinante up there as well. Now you can use this as damage. There we go. We obviously didn't do anything, but if he did die, we would have had him clear. We would have taken him out. I'm going to work my way back up into the bushes after reloading. We get spotted again, so we just hide behind this bush and wait. Hopefully RT cannot get any shots in on us. It's close, but it's not close. It's 6-6, but we are 3,300 damage up in HP. Not damage, we're 3,300 HP damage up a bit more than they are. So I kind of don't want to be spotted right now. So I'm just using this bush as cover, as I do believe the WT is probably sitting in these bushes. So my job is to go and flush him out. So we're going to jump into this bush here, and we're also going to see if we can maybe get a side shot into the CS59. And nope. And there we go. We spotted the WT. He's come out and he's been spotted. I don't think if I fired here, he would spot me, but this leopard that is directly in front of me probably would see me.
Ready to fire.
And there's also, yes, a T10 E4 staring directly at me. And this is where I believe being a light tank in the late game, like theirs is now died. They don't know where I am. I can see this leopard, I can see this leopard. You have to hold your fire. If you fire that T110 E4 or the leopard, anything like that, it's probably just going to turn around and shoot me. So trust your camo. 4.6k spotting. We're going to keep him perma-spotted. Let your artillery do it. Okay, we know where their RT is as well. It's kind of obvious, sort of in the A1, B1 area. And we just need to keep these guys spotted. Our team will move about. We've got the Badger pushing up, the 75. The Foch is also capping. He's just unspotted himself somehow. I'm guessing it's because the bush is over 15 meters away from me. I'll just move forward a little bit. If we can take him out, I can move up. But I don't want to move out while he is still there. So it's just waiting for our team to get into a position to be able to take out this E4. I'll do. The Leopard is also pushing now. And sometimes that's the best way of winning games, especially in a light tank, is just be more patient than your enemy. They will generally push in the end because they'll get bored. Now I'm trying to work out the velocity here of the shell if I can fire and get spotted. But I figured I probably would get spotted by this E4. Okay, we see the CS-59. We're hoping the E-75 can land a shot into him. And I believe he does. But if he doesn't, I always keep it on them just because of the designated target. And he is out. And this is where the E4 is. Okay, now we've got the 5.2k, 2 artilleries and 1 WT. I was a bit worried there that he was right in front of me, but I thought, well, there's 3 guys behind me. If I spot him, I spot him. So yeah, odds are he is probably in those bushes. There's the back, one of the back chat arties. But as we got spotted, we know that he's got to be in one of these early bushes. So we're just gonna wait until we're unspotted, peek up, and we're gonna see where he is. Fire 1. Unfortunately, a critical hit. And there we go. We know we can get at least 2 more shots into him. And we finish him off with the kill. So that's 6,100 assistance damage. And 2,568 overall damage. We're just seeing if we can spot this last arty. Just got to keep moving so he can't hit you. There. We got 18. So we finished with 6,199. Also known as 6,200. So these are the post-game stats for the game you just saw. We ended up with the first class, 106,000 credits, 9,631, but I'm going to assume that this is probably a boost. We've got patrol duty. We ended up with 6.6k, so 6667, and 2,568 damage. So we must have hit a blind shot somewhere. Unsure where. We ended with 13 shots fired, 8 were hit, and 7 penned. So we did manage to actually miss a fair few shots there. We were in the game total for, we didn't die, so 9 minutes and 14 seconds. We got 1.7k, there we go. 1,751 was our base experience. We ended up we did resupply the consumable, so 13,000 as it was. I believe it was on a discount at those times. I think it was discounted at that point. So that is how to effectively spot on Sand River. Like I said, you can do it for both sides. You can do it for normal battle and counter battle. If you're on the encounter side or the other side, you just go to the opposite side of those bushes. It still works for each side. Obviously, be careful of their light tank. Once I saw their light tank was playing up on the ridge, as you can see, if I go to here, he ended up doing the most damage. We came second on damage, but first on overall XP. So yeah, once I saw he was up there, I wasn't too afraid of playing around in those bushes, as he was going to be far enough away and wasn't in the bush. So if you liked the video, please give it a like, and if it helped you, go down in the comments, tell me why. If you don't have anything to say, just leave an emoji, because the engagement does always help. And until then, I'll see you next time.